Objectively speaking, so far, Studio Mappa has done a pretty decent job with the overall adaptation of Attack on Titan. Now, everyone is obviously going to have his or her preferences, especially in regards to the animation and a bunch of other different fields, but at least in regards to the adaptation from the manga material, I feel like Studio Mappa has done a pretty good job overall, and it has not really missed any of the major scenes, which was a really huge problem with Studio Wit. But since we are already talking about the manga in this video, so hello and welcome to OnYZ, and in this video we are going to talk about episode 1 of Attack on Titan season 4 part 2, and I'm going to compare basically how it stands in regards to the manga content. What aspects were not adapted, what aspects were cut off, which aspects were added and which aspects were expanded overall. Let's talk about all of those things. I mean, obviously one particular scene has been memed a lot so far in the entire anime fandom. I'm going to talk about that as well. But beyond that, what exactly was the difference in the anime versus manga adaptation? Let's talk about that in today's video. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel, since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's just jump into it. So overall, I'm just gonna say that this episode, adaptation wise, was actually pretty good. It had its issues obviously with the pacings and whatnot, but so far I feel like it has done a pretty commendable job, especially because it weirdly enough jumbled between 4 different chapters. And as I told you all in my prior reviews, including the review for episode 15 from Attack on Titan season 4 part 1, which had the other half of the 3 chapters. So therefore, this episode in a way concludes the remaining 3 chapters and finally also incorporates some aspects from a 4th chapter. So namely, this episode adapts chapter 115, 116, 117 and parts of 118 as well. Although the major focus surrounds the chapter titled Judgment, and from there it gets the name of its episode as well in the form of Judgment. But anyway, the episode begins with Hanji's immediate reaction to Levi's state. This current state is a devastating one, and I feel like the anime has done a much better job to portray the overall shock and confusion of this scene. The manga, it was a little bit different, like the overall atmosphere in the manga was a little bit different, and I felt like when Hanji saw Levi, or rather discovered Levi for the very first time, she was really surprised. She immediately exclaimed that, "Levi, are you alive?" But here it was a little different, it was a little somber tone. Obviously this is the start of an episode, so the anime gets a little more credit to, begin in a more serious tone. We immediately get a shot of Levi's cut fingers, and that is a major focus for the starting of this episode. The manga also showed this, but it was just a panel later on and not a lot of focus was actually shown on his cut fingers. But here the devastation of the Thunder Spear was actually showcased properly by the anime, and Hanji doesn't really go on to ask Levi if he's actually alive, because she was able to correctly assess the situation that she is just going to say to Floch that Levi is dead. That's it. She wants to escape from this overall predicament, and just after that we got the entire scenario with Zeke. But in the midst of all of that, she manages to escape along with a very seriously injured Levi. So overall, I would say that the anime has done a pretty good job in this particular scene to convey the actual emotions, because in the manga, Hanji is much more surprised, and in the anime actually she is more shocked and she's not able to react to this thing, because seeing Levi, probably the strongest fighter that Paradis has had for such a long time, in such a state, it must have been devastating for her, so the reaction is absolutely on point. But moving forward, oh boy, this scene, let's get real about it, nobody actually expected to see this here. And of course I'm talking about the Zeke panel. In the manga, it was just his top body which was shown from the back, but Mappa here did an absolute Chad moment, and his entire back portion is just shown here on screen. This was something unexpected, and this is something which is going to be just talked about and memed for a really long time. Adaptation wise as well, this is a really huge thing, because in the past we have not actually seen Wit adapt the shirtless moments of Levi and a lot of other characters, but here we are actually getting this proper adaptation, and in fact a step beyond it. And Floch and everyone's reaction to it is also very good. So definitely 10 upon 10 marks for adaptation from manga to anime, and in fact it has outdone the manga this particular time. But moving forward, we get a switch back to some other moments from the manga, and here the fight between Reiner and Eren finally begins. But before that, I have to talk about one particular moment. I know this is very tiny, and maybe if you don't see the manga or keep the manga open side by side, you're not even going to remember this moment. But since I really enjoyed this moment from the manga, I'm just gonna talk about it, and that is the moment involving Gabi and Pieck. So Pieck basically tells Galliard to just cut the chains of her arms because she's currently in handcuffs with Gabi, but Galliard, just being Galliard, or Porco being Porco, he just swipes off or cuts off the arm of Pieck. This was a very hilarious interaction for me in the manga, and I was really waiting to see what the anime does with this particular scene. And although I feel like the anime has done justice to it, but I do have some caveats with it. I mean, I am making a video about anime versus manga, so I'm going to talk about all of these moments or differences or additions basically. So what happens here is that the anime doesn't exactly show the cutting off scene, like her arm getting detached. That is not shown here. Instead, we just see Porco just swinging his arm, and as a result of it, Pieck's arm is just clean cut off, and Gabi is just holding that arm. And then we get the epic scream. That scream is just amazing, and then Pieck just falls down and transforms. But we don't actually see her arm getting cut as we saw in the manga. And secondly, another very small tidbit or another very small complaint here. In the manga, at least in this particular scene, we actually get to see Gabi's arm still being in the handcuffs, and Pieck's cut off arm is also shown dangling along with her while she's entering the mouth of Pieck. But in the anime, it doesn't really show it. I mean, sure, it is her right arm and the angle is a little bit different, but we actually don't get to see it. And even when she arrives on the scene with Commander, or rather General Magath, she is not having that arm attached, or she's not having that particular handcuff. Now granted, even the manga didn't have that, so I guess that is fine overall. Now rest of the stuff involving Yelena and Onyakopon is actually very on point. It's a 1-to-1 adaptation, but something which really startled me was the voice of Titan form of Pieck. I was really caught off by that, and I was not really expecting to see something like that, or rather expecting to hear something like that. Now moving forward, Commander, or rather General Magath's propaganda speech is very much same, but here if you are reading this manga from say some other translations, there might be a little bit of difference here and there. I mean, there are of course fan translations, and then there are official translations. There are sometimes other translators whatsoever in English and other languages. So if you are reading the manga, say from some other source, you might encounter a scene where Magath is saying that let's put an end this 100 years of pain. But in the anime, they actually chose to give the proper translation or proper adaptation of 2000-year-old battle or 2000-year-old war. Subsequently, the propaganda speeches involving William Tabor and the new hero Helos is pretty much on point. But here is one thing, or one substantial difference from the manga. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of change to the overall story, but yeah, it is something which we need to talk about, and that is the flashbacks. Including this scene and the other scenes in the prison, we don't actually get to see the flashbacks properly, and William Tabor is not shown here on this particular scene. Moving forward, the three-way fight between the Jaws Titan, the Founding Titan, and the Armor Titan is actually really good. It has been adapted and expanded overall in the anime for obvious reasons, and we actually get to see Galliard just sliding across the spikes of the Warhammer Titan as well, which thereby just shows us that how much strong this material actually is, because we can literally see sparks flying across when Jaws Titan is using its nails. So that is a really good touch in my opinion. Now there are some very minor censorship here involved, the first one being the eyes popping. Reiner's eye getting damaged, or at least the part of his eye getting damaged, is not really focused that much. We rather get smoke coming out from it. That is fine. But the other one which really was a little bit jarring for me, I mean, again, it's not something which changes the story overall or it ruins the story overall, but I just need to point it out, and that is Eren's left eye just popping off after he gets hit with the anti-Titan bullet or anti-Titan shell. In the anime, it's not really that much gory other than just some blood spilling on the ground. Beyond that, we don't exactly get to see Eren's eye just popping off and just dangling there as it was shown in the manga. I guess it might be shown in the next episode when we continue off with the fight, because the fight was cut off midway in order to make way for the Onyakapon scene and the prison scene. But before proceeding to the prison, I need to give props to MAPPA here for one particular thing, and that is something which the manga really can't just portray that much because of its limitations, and that is the usage of the Warhammer Titan's power. I really enjoy the Warhammer Titan as a concept and as a entity overall in the world of Attack on Titan, and whenever I get to see its powers being used, I'm just a very happy boy. So what happens is that while Eren is being cornered by the Jaws Titan and the Armor Titan, Eren just unleashes the powers of the Warhammer Titan, and the spikes of the Warhammer Titan pierce both of these other titans. And the anime actually does a very good job to showcase the power usage and basically showcase the moment when Eren utilizes this power, because we get to see a green glue in his eye which just popped off, and that was a visual confirmation that yes, Eren used the powers of the Warhammer Titan. That was really good in my opinion, and overall animation wise, adaptation wise, that was really fantastic. Lastly, in the prison with Onyakapon and the others, this is pretty much a one-to-one adaptation overall, and we get to see Connie's outburst, we get to see Armin being the mediator, we get to see Mikasa questioning everything because of her Ackerman lineage. But again, one thing which was not showcased here properly were the flashbacks. The moment where Armin is trying to convince everyone that this is Eren, hey, this is Eren, he's not just going to abandon us, he's not just going to go forward with the euthanization plan. All those moments during all those scenes, the flashbacks were not actually shown, and to be honest with y'all, I think it's fine. It's not really a big deal, honestly. Just because I was reading the manga, that's why I even understood that, or that's why I basically caught that, but it's not really that important of a scene. So this is pretty much everything that happened in this first episode called Judgment in regards to the manga differences, in regards to anime versus manga. Sure, you can say that there are more minute changes here and there, but I feel like these are the most significant ones which you can talk about. Translation wise, you might find an odd couple of scenes here and there, but I think that's fine, that's more than enough. This is the first episode of Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 called Judgment. So what do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. Join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features. Join the Discord server for more. This is Wonder by Z. I'll see you all on the next one.